I'm at 534 Liberty Hill, Cincinnati, Ohio. We're doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home, a condo. There is looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, basically anything that would be concerning to the buyer. Now, the access here is above ground. It's a line in the utility room where the AC is. But this comes down from the units upstairs, at least one of them. And so we're taking a look at this just to be sure that stuff that comes down also, we want to make sure that the line under here is in good shape, because the other units also go through here. So looks like this has been all replaced with PVC so far, and I would expect that it would go into clay, and there we go. I'm into the main line there, probably near the toilet. And all the storm is also tied into here. Looks like there's a lot of spider webs and stuff up above. And I imagine this line is going to be pretty ugly. It's about as old as it can get. Looks like we have some grease buildup. The white stuff on the sides is just grease. It comes down from the sink lines, and also can come from laundry. There's a lot of buildup. There's a lot of grease in laundry lines, and liquid fabric softener can also congeal like that. Does look like there is a little bit of root intrusion here at about 26 feet. And a lot of cobwebs. But that's a good sign, meaning that the water level hasn't gotten that high. So far, this line looks really good. We have, again, here's some more root intrusion. So it's not down the flow line, and so there's nothing that needs immediate attention, but it should be something that is paid attention to. Either periodic cleaning, because now there's nothing that is in the flow line, but you could have the line cleaned. The weird part about it is the way that it's shaped. If you look up to the top, you can see, and if you were to clean this through this access point, you're limited as to what you can get through. You should be able to get maybe a 4-inch double knife in there, but this line here is 6 in diameter. And so without better access, obviously you can clean it with salt, and they could possibly jet it to clean out the roots and the grease. But so far, structurally, everything looks good. There are permanent options to be able to keep the roots and stuff out of there. You can have it lined, but they would still most likely have to dig in the spot to get a larger spot for access, and that would allow them to get the liner in. But the line is structurally sound, so it would be a good candidate for a lining if you want to have that done. But I would think that you would want to share that responsibility with the rest of the people in the building, because that could be pretty expensive. we're switching over into SDR35. It's a 6-inch PVC line, which may mean that we're getting really close to the main, because it means it was replaced by the sewer department being out this far. There's a little bit of an offset here where the repair was made. Hopefully I can get it to jump, but it may not. Looks like it's dropping in, like we may be at the main. It's maybe the tap. So what I'm going to try to do is, I'm going to try to actually pull back. I'm starting to lose signal on my camera. See where this line is. We're 81 feet out. I'm going to see where this line is and see if we're at the main or if I'm just out at the retaining wall. So I'm going to have to pause the video. If I need to, I can put a standoff on the camera and try to get it over that offset in the repair. So I'm going to pause the video and get a locate. Alright, so we are within like 2 feet, 3 feet of the main. So that is all this is it was a main. That connection that repair was done by the Metropolitan Sewer District. And if that ever does cause an issue, that is on them to repair it. So most of the line, the line itself structurally looked pretty good. This was a repair done by MSD, like I mentioned earlier, and then it drops down just past that offset, straight down into the main. So, the line does seem to be functioning normally. No obstructions to flow, but there is some sections with some roots, which is again pretty normal for a line of this age and material. But most of them are very minor. Drop on it. It's a 20-degree angle here. See there, about 39 feet. It looks like the roots end right around 41, 42 feet there. You can see none of these are in the flow line yet, but there's enough where you want to make sure you're monitoring these in the future. So it doesn't seem like you need any immediate action, but it is something that, again, you want to monitor. You could do some, put some Rudex down here as a preventative thing. because it is mostly the stuff up through underneath the, yeah, this is probably the worst one here. You can see how I've kind of ran a channel through it, and there are roots right there, about 21 feet. And so, I mean, doing the jetting would probably work because of the size difference in the pipe, but you can see me dragging some of these roots back with me. I would plan on, trying to put some trying to probably put some root X or something through here, but also maybe do some periodic inspections also to check the root growth and see, how well just to see how well or how fast the roots are growing and how well the root X is working. You may want to do some follow-up inspections since everything is coming down through this one stack. I don't know of any other access points. We'll look around, but this is probably the only access for the line. But I would recommend, again, that little bit of roots there. I think 21 feet was the worst ones, actually. So yeah, I'm going to recommend at least some root treatment, possibly a jetting, just to kind of as a preventative measure. First off, so you're starting fresh, and that way you don't have to worry about monitoring the roots for a little while. So get it cleaned off the bat, and then do some, root X once a year for a couple of years, and then have the line re-inspected to check the root growth and make sure that the change the maintenance schedule if necessary. But structurally, the line looks good. So the only issue is those few spots of root intrusion. So that'll end the inspection at 534 Liberty Hill in Cincinnati, Ohio.